Hey guys, so for today's video, I just wanted to do a video about pregnancy and nutrition and sort of healthy eating in general. To just start everything off, I am not a doctor, I am not a nutritionist or any kind of professional whatsoever. This is basically just sort of, I think, about making healthy choices, and a lot of it's just kind of common sense. So I just thought that I would go through what a typical day for me would be as far as meals and snacks and drinks and all that kind of stuff, what I tend to do and what's worked for me. Now, my sort of overall philosophy is that you want to sort of keep moderation in mind whenever you're making any kind of choices. And I don't really believe in depriving yourself completely of everything that you enjoy. I think that when you are pregnant, there are obviously certain things that you want to completely avoid just because they're not good for you. And so that being said, you want to stay away from alcohol, you want to stay away from any kind of raw foods like sushi, like fish, any kind of like soft unpasteurized cheeses. You don't want to intake too much like tuna just because of the high levels of mercury. I think aside from that, it really is just about trying to make better choices and maybe finding alternatives to things that are not so good for you. For me, breakfast is, for everybody, breakfast is important, right? We all know that we're not supposed to skip breakfast and that it's supposed to be one of the most important meals of the day. I have always pretty much been a breakfast eater. When I was living at home, like, my mom was very adamant about me not leaving the house without eating breakfast, so it's kind of just been like a habitual thing for me. And I actually wake up hungry in the morning. So I do eat breakfast every day, but I do keep it pretty simple. The odd time if we go out, I may kind of have like a big breakfast, like eggs and toast and like whatever else. But for the most part, I am quite content just having one of two things, either a bowl of cereal or a bowl of oatmeal. More days than not, I will just have cereal. And I've already discussed my obsession with cereal, especially when I am pregnant. So we all know about that. I tend to go for like really plain, like low sugar cereals just because that's partially just what I enjoy. I'm either eating like super plain Cheerios or plain Rice Krispies. Those are usually my top two cereal choices. And then of course there's the vanilla Rice Krispies. That's pretty much as sweet as I'll go. If I'm not having cereal, then I tend to have oatmeal. And I try to add in whatever like fruit that we may have at the time. It really all depends on what's sort of laying around. So if we have like blueberries or raspberries or strawberries, I may throw that in. I do usually drink 1 cup of coffee in the morning. I wish I could say that I could go, the entire pregnancy without having coffee, but I can't. I mean, if I thought that it was like, detrimental to the, me or the baby, of course I would not do it. But I remember reading, I don't know if it's in my What to Expect book, that like the maximum amount of like caffeine you can have in the day is like up to 3, I think it was like 3 cups of like a caffeinated drink, which I think is insane. I don't think I don't drink that normally. So I just feel like having like 1 cup of coffee in the morning is well under the limit. And again, that's just a choice that you have to make. And if you are, somebody who can just cut out caffeine completely, then that's thumbs up for you. I usually have like a mid-morning snack, and I'm not like starving at that point. I'm just kind of, it's just something to tie me over until lunchtime. So what I tend to do is make myself like a shake or a smoothie. For the most part, I will make a smoothie out of yogurt. I usually buy like a flavored yogurt or just like a plain yogurt. I'll usually cut up a banana and then some 1% or 2% milk, again, whatever we have. That's sort of like the most basic smoothie that I will have. And then if I have any other kind of, fresh berries or frozen berries, I may or may not throw that in as well. Another variation of that, if I'm especially kind of maybe like having a day where I have a hankering for something a little more sweeter, then sometimes what I'll do is I'll put a tablespoon of peanut butter or almond butter in as well, and a tiny squirt of like what do you call it, the chocolate sauce, like like to make chocolate milk. It kind of tastes desserty, but it's not crazy because you don't need, like I said, you don't need a ton to taste the chocolate. But every once in a while I'll just kind of treat myself to that. There's a few things that I kind of rotate between. Now, if we happen to have any kind of leftover-y thing from like the night before's dinner, I may or may not have some of that for my lunch, depending on what it is. I usually either make myself just like a sandwich of some sort, or I have a salad. If I'm going to have a salad, I always try to use spinach, and I just buy like the pre-washed, I'll buy like a big bin, I don't know, container, whatever you call it, of baby spinach. And then I'll throw in some cherry tomatoes, and I usually throw in 1 or 2 hard-boiled eggs. And then again, everything else that I put in it will vary from day to day. I might throw in a couple of croutons. Sometimes I'll actually put in some tuna, like just on top of the salad, and kind of have like a tuna salad-y type of thing. Again, you want to be careful with that. I'll probably have that like once, I don't know, maybe once a month, if even that. If I have like some tangerines or clementines, I may put pieces of that in as well. And then I usually just use like a really plain vinaigrette dressing. The other option is to make myself a sandwich, and usually it's like a chicken or turkey sandwich. And what I like to do is I actually use lately I've been using like a kind of a flatbread. I always buy whole wheat bread, so I'll get that, I'll toast it up, and then I'll put some, like a tiny bit of mayo, usually some Havarti cheese, and then I will also put the baby spinach on there. Then I'm either using my chicken or my turkey, and some sliced up avocado as well. So that's delicious. And then I try to just pair that with some fruit. So maybe some cut up pear or some grapes, or again, whatever I have laying around. And then as far as drinks go, like I said, I have a coffee in the morning. I really try the rest of the day to just keep it simple and drink water. So for snacks and meals and stuff, I really just try to keep it down to drinking water. And then from time to time, like at dinner, I may have like a drink, like a, not like a drink, but like something that's not water, some juice, or if I really want like a carbonated kind of a drink, then I may have from time to time a root beer because there is no caffeine. Now, of course, there's still a lot of sugar in that, but at least you're not getting the added caffeine. For a mid-afternoon snack, I usually am just grabbing something really quick because it ends up being right before the kids are getting off of school. I might grab like a granola bar, usually something like that. Something I really like to have though is cottage cheese with sliced peaches. I like the canned peaches like that are in the juice. I don't really use the juice just because I find it's like super like syrupy and sweet. I like to mix that in with some cottage cheese, and that's like really good. As far as dinner goes, it really is a toss-up because there's not really anything that we have consistently enough that I can kind of mention. With 6 people in the house, there's a lot of different tastes and a lot of likes and dislikes. So dinners are pretty random around here. But I will say that now that the weather is getting nicer, and just the time of year that it is, we have been like grilling out quite a bit. You know, we'll do the typical hamburgers and hot dogs every once in a while. And then we also have been doing like kebabs, like chicken kebabs, or you can get like salmon kebabs, or just pieces of grilled chicken. Sometimes we just grill some corn with like some salads or rice on the side or whatever. So that's pretty much what I do for dinner. I just try to keep all my grains to whole wheat. So whether it's for sandwiches or burgers or, you know, whatever it is. So it's really just about making like little choices like that. And, you know, drinking lots of water, obviously taking your prenatal vitamin all through your pregnancy, you know, getting your fruits and veggies in, trying to eat as many like dark green leafy vegetables as you can, because you're going to get the added benefit of the folate in there, which is, you know, translate to the folic acid. That is good for pregnancy. And then, you know, like I said, it's okay to kind of veer off that from time to time. I, you know, will have some desserts, and I will have cake, and I will have, you know, certain things like that. You just don't want to overdo it, but I don't think you want to deprive yourself either, or you're just going to be like going crazy for 9 months. And we all know that pregnancy sometimes does not bring out the best of us to begin with, so we want to avoid that at all costs. So I hope that was helpful, just kind of gave you some ideas or suggestions for, you know, things that maybe you can try to just switch up what you've been eating, because I know sometimes it gets a little bit boring and it's kind of hard, especially when you're on the go and you're trying to think of things that are quick and fast, you know, and easy and simple and all that kind of stuff. You don't really want to spend a lot of time making meals, especially like when it's just for yourself. I hope that helps. And again, if you have any questions, make sure you consult your, you know, your healthcare provider. You know, this is just what works for me and what I've been doing. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Bye.